Any excuse to get back to the Smokies is a good one for us. So this weekend we packed up the car, loaded up Ava and Sunny, and headed to Tennessee for a little family getaway. We had a pretty relaxed trip planned, just some time in the mountains, a few of our favorite spots, and a unique place to stay. Before we get started, I just want to mention that this wasn't sponsored and we paid for the stay ourselves. So these are just our honest thoughts. For this trip, we stayed at Treehouse Grove near Gatlinburg, and honestly, it was one of the coolest places we've stayed so far. The property has a bunch of different tree houses tucked away in the woods with the stream running right through it, and walking paths all around the property. And one huge bonus for us is that it was very dog friendly, so Sunny got to come along too. I will say the tree houses are a little closer together than we expected, but it never really bothered us. We never had issues with noise, and it still felt private enough for our family. One thing we really loved was just how peaceful everything felt. No traffic, no crowds, just being outside. Every morning, we take Sunny for a walk, listen to the creek, and start the day slow. And honestly, with the 1-year-old, that slower pace was kind of perfect. The next morning, we headed over to Cades Cove, which is easily one of our favorite places in the Smokies. If you've never been before, it's an 11-mile loop road with mountain views, historic buildings, and some of the best wildlife viewing in the park. If you know my husband, you know the main thing he wanted to see was a bear. Unfortunately, no bears this trip, but we did see plenty of deer and turkey, so it wasn't a total loss. One thing we love about Cades Cove is that you don't really have to be in a hurry. You can just drive, stop whenever something catches your eye, and enjoy the views. There are also a bunch of old cabins, churches, and barns throughout the loop, which are really cool to walk through. We spent most of the day just exploring, letting Ava get out and move around, and taking our time. The full Cades Cove Loop is 11 miles, but there are 2 shortcut roads if you're short on time. Taking Sparks Lane cuts the drive down to about 4 miles, while Hyatt Lane shortens it to roughly 8 miles. Before you visit Cades Cove, here are 5 tips that will help you avoid common mistakes and get the most out of your trip. Tip 1. Arrive early. The biggest mistake visitors make is arriving too late. Cades Cove is one of the most popular spots in the Smokies, and traffic can get backed up quickly. Arriving around sunrise gives you the best chance to avoid crowds and see wildlife. Tip 2. Bring binoculars or a zoom lens. Wildlife is one of the main reasons people visit Cades Cove. Bears, deer, and wild turkeys are often seen in the fields, but they're usually far from the road. A good pair of binoculars or a camera with a zoom lens makes a huge difference. Tip 3. Plan for more time than you think. The loop is only 11 miles long, but don't expect to drive it in just 20 minutes. Between wildlife sightings, scenic overlooks, and historic buildings, it can easily take 2 to 4 hours. Tip 4. Pack a picnic lunch. There are several beautiful picnic areas throughout Cades Cove, making it a great place to slow down and enjoy the scenery. Bringing your own lunch lets you spend more time exploring without having to leave the park to find food. Tip 5. Get outside and explore the historic buildings. Many visitors just drive the loop, but some of the best parts of Cades Cove are the preserved cabins, churches, and the old grist mill. Taking a few minutes to walk around these sites give you a glimpse into what life was like here nearly 200 years ago.
Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Yeah.
Hello.
So we just left Cades Cove.
Who's Cave?
Cades Cove.
Cades Cove.
Cades Cove.
We saw some deer and
Turkey.
Turkey.
We didn't get footage of that.
I was
It
just
sucked.
That was about it.
No bears, unfortunately. Really want to see some bears.
Ava took 2 naps on the drive. She was a little angel, so now we're gonna reward her with some coffee.
Hey, Dada.
Dada. Did you have fun at Cades Cove?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Oh, God.
Okay. Let's It's our family.
She just like punched me in the jugular. Dada, you ready? After Cades Cove, we stopped by Artistic Bean for coffee. And once again, not sponsored, we genuinely just enjoyed this place. Coffee was great, the staff was super friendly, and it was exactly what we needed after spending all day outside. It's one of those places we'd absolutely come back to on a future trip.
Alright, so we just got our coffee. Got peanut butter cold brew.
I got an ice latte with Irish cream in it. It's actually very delicious.
Pretty good. Yeah, it's just right outside the park, so like right when you leave, you want coffee, or right before.
And they have free Wi-Fi. And Ava said she likes it too. Before calling it a day, we decided to do the Gatlinburg Trail. After all the driving and exploring earlier, we wanted something easy and relaxing, and this trail was perfect for that. It's mostly flat, follows the river, and doesn't require a huge commitment. Honestly, this ended up being our favorite part of the day. We weren't trying to rush to the next thing or check off another attraction. We were just walking, hanging out, and enjoying being outside together. Traveling with a 1-year-old definitely looks different than it used to. We move a little slower, take more breaks, and our plans are a lot more flexible. But it's also been really fun getting to experience these places through Ava's eyes for the first time. And to finish off the day, Big Daddy's Pizza. Not exactly a groundbreaking travel recommendation, but after a full day in the mountains, it was perfect. I don't even remember.
We got the Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia?
Mamma Mia. And a cheese steak. Yeah, cheese steak.
He thinks it would be good.
Together.
I did not think you were going to flip it. That's so barbaric.
How else would you do it?
Just like on top of each other.
Oh, so you mean like exactly how I did it?
No, but like just on top, where both tops are on top.
Oh gosh.
Well, what's the verdict?
That's fire.
This is Firehouse Pizza.
That's good. That's really good.
Yum, yum, yum.
Babe, you gotta try this. You gotta try this, babe.
Yeah. That's better. It's worth it.
Is it fire?
What?
Is it fire?
One would say it is fire. When we look back on the trip, it probably won't be because of one big moment. It'll be the treehouse, walking sunny by the creek, watching wildlife in Cades Cove, good coffee, an easy evening trail, pizza at the end of the day. Just a bunch of simple moments that made for a really good weekend. Thanks for coming along with us in the Smoky Mountain Getaway. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to Parking Nationally for more family adventures, national parks, and life on the road. We'll see you in the next one.
Do you love Smoky Mountains National Park? You heard it here first.